Story 1. The Man Who Stared at the Bushes High. My name is Sarah. I'm writing this email because something really strange happened to me. I live in India, and this took place about 2 years ago when I was 16. I live with my parents and 2 older brothers in a small neighborhood of about 10 identical 2-story houses. My parents and I sleep on the first floor, while my brothers sleep upstairs. One morning, I woke up, as usual. My mom and older brother Ally were talking loudly in another room, but I didn't pay much attention. While I was brushing my teeth, my brother came in and said jokingly, "Want to see a ghost? Come here." I followed him to my parents' room. He pointed out the window. There was a large road in front of our house, and in the middle of it stood a man wearing a shawl. It was winter, and the fog outside was thick. He was staring toward a small forest area filled with bushes and dense trees. We watched him for about 10 minutes. He didn't move a muscle, just stood there, staring at the bushes. It gave me chills, but we eventually shrugged it off and continued our morning. Later, my older brother Assad took me to college on his scooter. As we passed the man, he was still standing there, in the same position, still staring at the bushes. When I looked at him, our eyes met. I could only see his eyes under the shawl, but I could feel that he was smiling a wide, eerie grin. I got goosebumps. I couldn't tell if he was smiling at me or at something in the bushes. After college, around 3 p.m. I came home by rickshaw. As I looked out the window, I saw the same man still, standing there, in the same spot. He hadn't moved all day. It had been almost 8 hours. I was horrified. That night, my dad came home around 10 p.m. and said he'd seen the man still there. He even went up to him and asked why he was standing there all day, but the man didn't say a single word. My dad told us to lock all the doors and windows before bed. The next morning, when I looked outside, the man was gone. We never saw him again. I still wondered, why was he standing there? What was he looking at in those bushes? We never got any answers. Story 2. The Woman in Black. At Kohl's, it was a normal, cool evening. My mom and I went to Kohl's to buy some new clothes since I had outgrown my old ones. At first, everything seemed normal, but after a while, I got bored and told my mom I wanted to explore the store on my own. She told me to stay close. As I wandered through the aisles, I noticed a woman. She was dressed entirely in black, with long black hair, and she was staring directly at me. Her eyes were wide open, so wide it looked unnatural. Black eyeliner streaked down her cheeks, and her expression froze me in fear. I looked around for my mom, but I couldn't find her. When I turned back, the woman was closer, smiling that same unsettling, wide smile. I panicked. I didn't have my phone, so I darted between the clothing racks to hide. Suddenly, a hand grabbed my shoulder. I almost screamed, but when I turned, it was my mom. Relief flooded through me. She scolded me for running off, but I barely heard her words. My mind was stuck on that woman. Then my mom's tone changed. Her face turned serious. She asked me quietly, "Did you see a woman with long black hair and wide eyes?" My heart stopped. I told her yes, that I had seen her, and she scared me. My mom nodded quickly, paid for our things, and we left immediately. Nothing happened after that, but I still remember her face, her eyes, her smile. Even now, the memory sends chills down my spine. Story 3. The break in. My name is Zema, and I'm from South Africa. In August 2024, something terrifying happened to us. I lived in a small 2-bedroom apartment with my 9-year-old daughter, Coco. One Sunday at around 2:30 a.m., we were both fast asleep when I suddenly woke up. I felt someone reaching for my tablet beside me. At first, I thought it was Coco, but when I opened my eyes, I saw a strange man standing next to my bed. I screamed and grabbed him. He froze for a second, holding my iPhone, the one Coco had used earlier. We struggled, and both of us fell onto my sleeping daughter. Terrified, I fought as hard as I could. I pushed him out of the bedroom and into the living room. In desperation, I threw pots and pans at him, anything I could grab. Finally, he backed away and ran out through the front door. Later, I realized he had broken in through the bathroom window. We lived on the second floor, and I'd never thought to lock that window. He must have climbed up, squeezed through the bars, and unlocked the front door to make his escape easier. Despite all the noise, no one came to help. My neighbors called the next day to say they'd heard something but were too afraid to intervene. Thankfully, Coco and I were safe. I managed to cancel my bank cards before any money was taken. A few days later, we learned there was a group of thieves targeting our area. 2 days after our break-in, one of the thieves was found dead. I still don't know if it was the same man who broke into our apartment. And honestly, I don't want to know.